You're not gonna wear that through the whole video, are you?
Why not?
What is that anyway?
Well, it's a death trooper.
Desk trooper?
No, death.
What do you like, fly a cubicle or something?
No.
We can't do the whole video with that mask on. I refuse.
Fine.
Alright. What's up, Lego nerds?
Welcome to BadCat Bricks.
What do we got for them today?
Well, today we're doing the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian.
The Razor Crest. So this is Lego set
75292.
75292, the Lego Razor Crest. Now this is his previous ship because now he's flying in
An N1 Naboo starfighter.
right, that he got from that weird lady. It doesn't make any sense that he's flying that N1. In this, it had all his stuff.
Like it had a place to store all of his weapons, which was like an absurd amount.
Right. We're supposed to go to the bathroom in an N1. I mean, you're cruising through space. What is it called? The Bacta?
No, the back tube.
But I don't know. I guess they needed to have more, well, the more ships, the more Lego stuff you can sell. Now, this is the normal version. There's also a collector series,
Yeah,
correct?
the Ultimate Collector's Series. It's more of the kind of toy that's, meant for adults who don't do what toys are supposed to do.
Yo, you can't play with that one?
Well, I mean, you can, but...
Why can't you play with that one? Because it's $600 and you don't want to break it?
Yeah, it's for adults who don't know what a toy is for.
Right, to put it on the shelf and dust every once in a while. Now, this version was from, it was released when? 2020?
Yeah.
Yep, when the Mandalorian first came out. I don't know when these guys came out. The Brickheadz series, but we'll get into those in a little bit.
I know the Brickheadz series itself has been around for a while.
Well, yeah, but I don't know when those came out. Probably 2020 when the show first started.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kyle, this comes with Mando's ship as well as how many minifigures?
5.
5. Okay, well, isn't it really like 4.5? Because Baby Yoda's kind of small. Huh?
Baby Yoda's what makes all the stuff sell.
Okay, so it comes with 5 minifigures, and then these 2 things as well.
People in carbonite.
So what do you think of the overall design? Do you think it's pretty close to the ship in the show?
Yeah, the front of the engines is pretty nice. How they did this design, I like that.
They use these little curved pieces there.
Yeah.
Wrapped them around, and
And they also use I'm pretty sure this is like a big wheel piece right here.
now up top, we'll start with that. Now this is
They have a nice little feature. It's an escape pod. You can open it up and put a minifigure in there, or you can only fit one. And it has a little window where you can see the figure's head.
And that pops right out of there. Now, do they have an escape pod off the top on the real ship?
They
Or did
never.
Lego just kind of make that up for this design?
It never showed that in the show. I mean,
They didn't show it in the show. Anyway, if it's on the ship or not, they got one on this one, and it's pretty cool.
it adds a nice little feature to it. It blends in pretty well.
So as far as the cockpit goes, so you can take off.
Yeah, you can take off the cockpit, and there are 2 seats in there, which really there should be 3 to be more accurate to the show, but I guess they didn't have enough space
Aren't
in there.
the seats side by side in the show? Or no,
Yeah.
there's one kind of like back behind.
Well, there's 3 seats. There's 1 in the front and 2 in the back.
Is one of those for Baby Yoda? Isn't
Yeah.
he too small to stick in the seat?
No. There's 2 studs in the seat, and Baby Yoda only takes up 1.
Oh, okay.
So you can just,
So he's a single stud kind of guy?
yeah.
Now we keep calling him Baby Yoda. His real name, and on the ship, he's called the Child.
Well, this set was released before they gave him the terrible name Grogu.
I don't like that name.
Yeah.
We're calling him Baby Yoda. That's what everyone calls him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
we're sticking with Baby Yoda. So there's room for Mando, Baby Yoda in the cockpit, and then what does this piece do? So this kind of tilts forward.
Yeah, this tilts forward, and then you can put Mando's blaster in there.
Oh, so that holds his gun. So that's
Yeah.
the weapons bay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's not accurate.
Yeah, I know.
Because in the show, he's got that whole wall of weapons.
Yeah.
Now, does this hold weapons, or is that for blasters?
Well, it can hold either one. Anything that can attach
Is
to
it
a
long
clip.
enough to hold a blaster in there?
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing on the side is for the blasters, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so that's a weapons bay. Up top, you got a weapons bay. This thing kind of turns back, and then this guy goes right on the top of there. And you got room in there for Mando and your Baby Yoda. The nice thing about this design is the whole thing opens up. So we've got all these panels along the side, the front, and they all open up. And talk to me about this.
On this side, it's a place to store the extra ammunition for the shooter things up here.
Oh.
Over here, there isn't much. But there is this place to store the guy's frozen carbonite.
Okay, so
You
there's
just-
two.
You just slide them in there.
There's two bounty slots. So that would be the bounties, correct?
Yeah, you just slide them in there.
Because this is a bounty hunter ship, so you
Yeah.
got to be able to freeze guys. Is there a freezing chamber?
No.
There should be. There's a place to sleep over here.
Yeah, if you turn it around on this side, there's a place where you can, like if you just put a figure in there.
What would have been nice, and maybe they have like a weapons wall on the fancy other version.
Yeah.
Because it would make sense. Like one of the things that you see in the show is that wall of weapons that opens up.
It's
That
really
little
more.
room.
It's really more of like a weapons closet.
Yeah,
really more
it
like
is. It's a
room.
weapons closet.
Yeah, but Mando does have just an absurd amount of weapons. I mean,
Yeah.
in one episode, he literally armed an entire town.
Right. Well, it's better than a closet full of capes. Very cool design. Opens all up. You can stick a lot of guys in there. It's got room for your weapons on one side, sleeping chambers on the other side. You've got your slots for your frozen and carbonite. Then on the bottom of the ship here, I like the landing gear.
Yeah,
those are kind of cool. It's got
Those look like a new piece. I haven't seen those before, but
the ski looking things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen those on another set.
They might have had those on another set, didn't they? Well, maybe not quite like that. I don't know.
Similar. They had something similar.
If we're completely wrong and these things have been out forever,
Comments.
yeah, you can tell us how stupid we are in the comments and that we're completely wrong and we don't know what we're talking about. All right, Kyle, let's talk about minifigures. Now, this comes with 5 minifigures, correct? All right, so the first one up would obviously be
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. All
I
right.
mean, it's literally the name of the show.
Right, and he's got his Mando mask there. He's got his cape.
They
And that's
have a-
that's quite a gun. He does have a long gun in the show, though, doesn't he?
It is pretty accurate. I mean, they used like a clip piece for the two
long
electric
gun.
blade things.
Not my favorite gun design, but it works. They've got the printing on the front of his pants, on his shirt. No, it looks pretty cool. Overall, good-looking minifigure.
Thing I wish they did is give him a printing on the face.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so if we take his helmet off here,
It's just black.
why didn't they give him a real face?
I know, like they could have printed a face of what he actually looked like.
Okay, yeah, that makes absolutely no sense at all.
Next up on the minifigures is
Baby Yoda.
the
Slash Grogu slash the child.
Anyway, they used
It's kind of rubbery.
yeah, well, his ears bend. The reason they made his ears rubber is because if they were just solid plastic, then they could break too easily, and you wouldn't want that. It has a little bit of printing on the chest, which looks accurate, and that's pretty much all with the Baby Yoda figure.
Yeah, yep, single stud, little tiny guy. It works. Okay, so moving along, the third minifigure here, we have some type of trooper,
Yeah, it's a scout trooper.
a scout trooper.
Can't you tell by the helmet?
Yeah, those are the guys that would ride the speeders in Return of the Jedi, right? That's the
Yes.
same looking helmet thing.
Yes.
Scout troopers.
Yes, scout troopers.
Okay, so
As the name suggests, they're meant for, well, scouting.
didn't Baby Yoda bite one of them?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to see it.
Yeah.
The other guy's messing with him. That was that scene? Yeah, okay. Anyway, you guys saw the show. You know what we're talking about. And they were sitting there shooting stuff. They
Yeah.
couldn't hit it. Yeah. Okay, so that's one of those guys?
Yeah, because stormtroopers have really bad aim.
Okay, so yeah, that's a standard scout trooper. They all, got the printing on it. It
Yeah.
looks accurate to a...
Yeah, it has some nice printing on the, very detailed, and on the chest and the legs.
good-looking helmet.
Pretty nice.
Black arms, comes with a gun. No, looks good. All right, Kyle, so the next minifigure we have is...
Brief Karga. If you didn't know, he was the guy who was giving Mando jobs.
Yeah, he
Absent
runs the
bounties.
syndicate.
Yeah.
And now he's running the whole town, right?
Yes, in the new...
He came out with that weird, like, gown thing with the robots. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's a pretty ridiculous scene.
Well, I don't think his outfit was too ridiculous. I mean...
he had 2 robots holding onto the end of his cape.
Yeah, I mean, that part was kind of ridiculous, but...
If you need 2 robots to hold onto your cape, then you just need a smaller cape. It's a good-looking minifigure.
It only has printing on the chest, but that's really all he needs.
Great. Okay, so moving on, our next minifigure is...
It's IG-11.
IG-11.
Which,
Is this the reprogrammed IG-11?
I believe so.
Right.
I think it's the
It doesn't matter. It was a rhetorical question. You know, they took the basic body from the battle droids.
Yeah, they use
they,
all gray battle droid body, battle droid legs, and regular arms.
And they used that little cone-shaped thing to make his head.
They did make the head a little tall. Could have been a little shorter, but...
I don't know. I think it looks all right. It looks like the IG-11 from the show.
He has a regular blaster in his hand and has a little clip piece on his back to hold a sniper.
What's your overall rating on the minifigures?
I'd give it a 7.
A 7? Yeah, I'd probably go down to a 6 or so, just because of the Mando, not getting the real face on there. I think at this price point, $120, really should have come with 6 or 7 minifigures. You know, it should have come with a Cara Dune, I think, as well. Maybe another Shock Trooper, a couple more. Because you really only have 3 minifigures there. Then you got the little tiny Baby Yoda and then a droid.
Yeah, so technically...
At that price point, I think they should have thrown in a Cara Dune with this. As far as the design of the ship goes, rating-wise, what would you give it?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say that's a solid 8 out of 10. Durability...
I mean, it is pretty durable. I mean, this whole...
I think we should give it a 10 on durability. I mean, you can grab it by the back end and it stays together pretty well. Yeah. I think, some of these pieces come off, but, 9.5, 10 on durability. It's a pretty solid ship.
Usually all the ships with a Technic frame are pretty sturdy.
I wouldn't go throwing it off the roof or anything, but stays together pretty well. So as the overall package, probably a little high on the price, $120, but then it's Lego, Star Wars, you're paying for all the brands, things like that, so you're going to pay up for all the Lego stuff. I think these are on Amazon right now for about $130, $140, so they're a little bit more than what they were. But, all the Star Wars stuff is going to be a little bit more. But overall, it's a good-looking set, don't you think? Yeah. So your final rating on the entire set?
Either a 7 or an 8.
7 or an 8? Yeah. I'd say that's not too bad, 7 or an 8. Could have fixed a couple of things here or there. You know what would have been nice to see is like a weapons bay in the bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
A little area that you open up, and it could have come with a lot more weapons. Or like a cryo freezing area. Could have come with a Cara Dune, so a couple of things they could have done a little bit better on the design, but overall it's pretty cool.
The weapons closet would have filled up the interior space a little more.
So no, overall, pretty cool design. We like it. Kyle gives it 7 or 8. We'll say a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
7.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's about right. They did a pretty good job with it. We like it. Yeah. And we think you guys will like it. Speaking of Star Wars, we do have a version of the AT-ST. Is the ST the small one? Yeah. Yeah. AT-ATs are the big one. Yeah. So on the website, it's completely free. We have our own little version that we designed of the AT-ST walker. Step-by-step instructions, got a part list, Bricklink part list. So you upload it to Bricklink, get all the bricks. So you go over to badcatbricks.com. We got a number of designs over there. You can check them out, and that's one you can download for free. So now, in this video, we also wanted to talk about this. This is Lego set 75317, Mando and the Child. This is the Brickheadz collection, right? Yes. And no, it's a cool little kit. And this this came with both of them. I think they're like $20. Right now, you can get them on Amazon. I think, I don't know, $17 or something like that. And no, they're just a neat little set. The Brickheadz, they do kind of like a miniature, kind of blocky type thing,
yeah,
right?
They usually have like kind of large heads. It's kind of stubby arms. Mm-hmm. They have the Mando with his blaster and Baby Yoda and his little cradle thing.
Yeah, the preen?
Preen?
What do they call that thing in the show? A preem?
Preem?
Preem? I think it's a preem. Pram?
Pram? I think it's pram.
I don't know. We would call it like a bassinet or
Bass.
a baby buggy thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like a toilet. So that's Baby Yoda sitting in his pram toilet. And no, they're pretty cool designs.
Yeah, and here's
just-
the minifigures for comparison. And the Baby Yoda can be taken out, and it's what he looks like. He's out of the pram.
Yeah, so for $20, I think it's like 265 pieces. You get both of them, and no, it's kind of a cool little thing. So we thought we'd do a little review on those, and they're kind of neat.
I mean, you can't really play with them that much. I mean,
No, you can't play with these. Oh, I just played with it.
I mean, like regular minifigures are better, but.
The hell you can't play with it. Whoa! You just used the force. You can play with it. I just did it. You play with that all day. $20, yeah. So no, the Brickheadz. I gotta go get that. He used the force on him. Anyway, that's our review of the LEGO Razor Crest, as well as the little Brickheadz Mando and the Child kit. And no, both of them are very, very cool kits, and we'll probably do another review. I think we're going to pick up the N1 Starfighter or just design our own. We haven't figured that out yet. So, yeah. And as we watch the rest of Season 3, it's slowly going somewhere. So we will see. Kyle, do we got anything else for him?
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and because we're making more videos and providing more content for you guys, making stupid jokes and talking about Legos and all that fun stuff. Don't forget, we got a website, badcatbricks.com. Go over there. We got our own custom Lego designs, full instructions, part list, the whole 9 yards. Got a Teespring store, hawking gear, merchandising. So check out some of that stuff. You want t-shirts and cups and all that fun stuff. Anyway, that's all we got for today.
Keep building. See you guys later.
All right, we'll check you guys next time.
All right.